4 go-to support systems that may make things worse when you're healing from narcissistic abuse. That's what we're talking about in this video. Hey, I'm Dr. Melissa. I'm a trauma expert and top doctor, and in this video and on this channel, I help you identify the hidden narcissists in your life, identify the impact that they're having on your life, and then turn that trauma and that drama into gold, becoming stronger and more powerful than you ever were before. If that sounds like exactly what you need, click subscribe, click that notification bell, and stay tuned. Hold on to your hats, because today we are talking about 4 go-to support systems that people go to when they are struggling, when they are trying to make sense of their life because of narcissistic abuse, when they're trying to break free, when they're trying to move forward. And these traditional support systems may actually make things worse. Number 1, family and friends. We've been taught our whole life to create this wonderful support system of family and of friends, to go to them, to ask for support, to reach out when we are struggling, when we need advice, when we need someone to just listen to us, to validate our feelings, to offer their opinion, or just lend an ear. And yet when you are dealing with narcissistic abuse, you may find that this is not helpful at all. In fact, it may be harmful. Here's why. If you are involved with a covert narcissist, a vulnerable narcissist, chances are your family and friends love them, think they are the most amazing person on the planet. They think that you are so lucky to be with this person. And they find the things that you mention, the things that you complain about, to be really trivial, or to be completely crazy, like they couldn't be true at all. Like, surely this amazing partner would not have broken something special to you on purpose, or would not have deleted your calendar on purpose, or would not have caused this major financial challenge on purpose. And the reality is, the covert narcissist is going behind your back to talk to those people, to say, I get why she is so upset, or I get why he's so upset. Sometimes I don't make the best decisions. And here, this leaves them thinking, oh my gosh, he's such a nice guy, or she's such a nice woman, thinking that you are controlling, are judgmental, are too sensitive, when that's not true. The other reason that it can be really unhelpful, even harmful, is because many people who find themselves in a narcissistic relationship as an adult had them as a child. Maybe one of your parents, grandparents, siblings, close family friends was a narcissist. There are things about that behavior that seemed normal to you in the first place, which made it more likely to end up in a narcissistic relationship. And those people are not going to be a good sounding board now. Even if they don't realize that they have narcissistic tactics and behaviors, or that your partner does, they're going to think these things are normal. And where you're going to have turned to your family and friends for support, for help making sense of the senseless, this is going to leave you feeling only more confused. The second is couples counseling. Now, I would have to say couples counseling with a narcissist has one beneficial purpose, and that is to get you to see the narcissist clearly. If you want their behavior, their narcissistic injury, narcissistic rage, narcissistic collapse to come to a head so you see very clearly who they are as their mask slips, couples counseling may be beneficial for that. But if you are hoping that by going to couples counseling, you're going to be able to improve the relationship, to stay together, I would say it is almost never that works. I can't say that there's no one it's worked for ever on the planet, but I don't know any of them. And here's why. The couples counselor is going to be coming at things from a lens of dealing with healthy relationships. Two people where they need to communicate better. They need to see each other's perspective in a different way. They need to balance out the giving and the receiving in the relationship. Now, when a couples counselor has that lens, assuming that both people are healthy and are just wanting to work on making this a healthier relationship, then things like, you need to ask for what you need in this relationship is great advice. Or you need to give a little. You need to compromise can be great advice. But when you are partnered with a narcissist, this kind of advice can actually deepen your trauma. It can make you feel like there is something wrong with you when you are already feeling that way. Here you're putting 150% into the relationship. The narcissist maybe is putting 0 to 10% into the relationship, and yet you're being told that there are behaviors you need to change to do better. The reality is there's nothing that you can do if you're in the relationship with a narcissist to make it a healthy relationship. You cannot make a disordered person healthy and whole. You cannot make a relationship with a disordered person healthy and whole. And putting that responsibility on you, putting any of that responsibility on you, can make you feel more alone, more isolated, more like something is wrong with you. Now, here's the other reason that this is really problematic, and that is when the couples counselor gets you to open up and share with the narcissist what you're feeling, what bothers you, you're actually giving them the playbook for how to devalue you. So if you say, I really feel hurt when you speak to me in this condescending tone, or you use words that devalue me, especially in front of our children or in front of our family, and I really need you to hear me, that has to stop because it hurts me. You have just told them how to devalue you at the couples counselor's recommendation. And I assure you they will. Maybe not right away and maybe not all the time, but they now know that they can truly hurt you by being disrespectful, by being demeaning, especially in front of others. And you will definitely see that behavior again. The third is individual therapy. Now, individual therapy can be absolutely awesome and extremely helpful, especially helping you have the insight, the wisdom, the strength to exit a toxic relationship, shifting your mindsets, learning how to set boundaries, creating an opportunity for self-care. Therapy can be extremely helpful if you have the right therapist. If you have the wrong therapist, someone who doesn't recognize narcissistic abuse, someone who doesn't understand it, they again, much like the couples counselor, may put a lot of things back on you, as if you're just being too dramatic, or maybe you need to let some things go, or maybe you are a bit controlling. Maybe you need to loosen up the reins a bit, or these kind of things that are well-meaning advice for a healthy person in a healthy relationship, but they're not healthy when you're in a narcissistic relationship. They're not healthy or helpful. One way to know if you have the right therapist for you is to notice how you feel after the sessions. Now, surely going and talking to any therapist about traumatic things about your relationship, about very anxiety-provoking decisions about whether to leave or to stay and what the implications are of both, those aren't really fun conversations to have. But if you walk away from the session feeling empowered, like it's possible to break free, it's possible to move forward, like here's someone who's got your back, awesome. Keep seeing that person. They sound like an excellent source of support. But if you walk away from those sessions feeling more unseen and unheard, feeling like you're less validated or accepted, feeling like you're broken or there's something wrong with you, then there's not necessarily something wrong with you, but there's something wrong with that therapeutic relationship. And it would be best to find another therapist or find another approach that may serve you differently. Number 4 are support groups. And support groups can be really helpful, especially in the beginning, for figuring out that you're not alone, that there are other smart, amazing people who have been through the same thing, that have heard the same thing, that have experienced the same thing, that have felt the same conflict and inner turmoil. That can be huge to realize you're not the only one in the world who is dealing with this like sheer craziness. Where support groups become a problem is when you're ready to move on in your healing. Because many support groups maintain their sense of importance by keeping people stuck. You may find that as some people start to heal and start to move beyond the nature of the support group, maybe it's, complaining about everything that their current narcissistic, partner does, that as someone begins to heal and no longer needs to sit in that place of complaining and venting and ranting and posting screenshots of texts and other things, that they're no longer really a member of the group. They no longer really fit in the group, because the group dynamic is this complaining and offering each other support around the ranting and venting and complaints. So if you're in a group like that, that was intended to be supportive, maybe even was supportive in the beginning, it's entirely possible to outgrow the group, because if you choose to stay in that, you may be just re-traumatizing yourself and holding yourself back from moving forward in a way that would be healthy for you. There's an element of sharing the circumstances of your life and feeling validated and accepted by people who understand that can be hugely helpful in the beginning. And there's an element of staying stuck in that, where you're needing to continue to share these circumstances. That's just sort of an anchor that's holding you back. It prevents you from actually doing the healing that you need to break free and move forward. Breaking free and moving forward is what I want for you. And even more than breaking free and moving forward, I love helping people leverage their abuse as the springboard to creating whatever they want in life. Because the reality is, when you discover the truth of who you are, when you rewrite those subconscious scripts that were telling you you were someone else, when you break your trauma bond, when you become indifferent to the tactics and behaviors of narcissists, it changes everything, not just in your romantic relationships, but in your career, your wealth, your impact on the world, in your health. I'd love to walk with you on this journey.